Hi, today's good person to know is Nick Hungerford. He's director and CEO of Nutmeg. Nick has always had an entrepreneurial spirit. From the tender age of 12, he had not one but two jobs. At 18, he went to Silicon Valley. He returned to go to university and whilst being a student set up a business there. He clearly had too much time in his hands, obviously. In his final year, he was seduced by the banking industry and became a banker, but he had to return to his first love, which was business, and set up Nutmeg. Nick's talk is about what it takes to start a business. It's about being self-aware, knowing what kind of person you are, not being asked the same question twice and continually prepping because you need to cover all bases. He says think about what you're good at and what you want to achieve and what you really want, because that's what's going to drive you. He says understand the founder's pie. Nick talks of how shares should be divided in a business. He says that you deserve more if you put more in, and that you need to know what others can bring to the table, such as contacts, skills, commitment. And once you find all that out, you need to set goals like setting up a good team, understanding contracts. Nick says tread really carefully when it comes to your friend, because there's more to life than business, and to listen to them and treat them like customers. And I think that sounds like sound advice to me. This video is particularly relevant to anybody who's wanting to start a business, not really sure how they should go about doing it, not understanding what's involved. It's a lot of hard work, but you know, the rewards can be absolutely fantastic. So I hope you enjoy it, and thank you for watching.
It's important to understand you and yourself and be self-aware when you're thinking about starting a company. You know, we all dream of starting the next Google, the next Facebook, but that isn't what 99% of the entrepreneurs out there are thinking of doing. Are you the type of person who wants to control their business, who wants to manage their staff, who wants to start a consultancy? Or are you the type of person, like me, who has this dream of changing the world and doing something different, and understands that in order to achieve that goal, I am going to have to give away my control to other members of staff. I'm going to have to recognise that I can't run the whole thing. I am going to have to give away equity to venture capitalists, appreciative of the fact that maybe my monetary gain won't be as big as my, change the world gain. A BHAG is what you start out with when you're thinking about being an entrepreneur. It's a big, hairy, ambitious goal. I had my BHAG, and I thought, right, I'm going to create Nutmeg is change the world financial company. The financial services industry isn't very well behaved. We're going to do something different. We're going to change the world. And I spoke to all these investors, and they looked at me and said, you're mad. I said, you're mad. You are trying to take on an incumbent industry that has massive barriers to entry, and you're never ever going to help people invest in a way that is better for them, because all the banks are so much bigger and better than you. One tip, and that is never get asked the same question twice. If you get asked the same question twice, you are not prepping hard enough. You should kill that question for the next person. And I promise you, and this is the brilliant bit for us entrepreneurs, if you kill the questions, the person who you go and pitch to can't not give you money. You've given them a perfect pitch. You've covered all the areas they want covered. You've answered all their questions. Number one, think about what you're good at. Okay? Are you the person who's going to build the systems? Are you the person who's going to sell the systems? Are you the person who's going to operate the systems? Or are you the person who's going to put all those people together? You need to understand where your strengths are. And then you need to complement your strengths with people who are brilliant in the areas where you're fallible. Know what you can achieve. Are you really the type of person that can take this to $1 billion business? When Google hired Eric Schmidt and gave him, 25% of the equity to be chief executive, it was already quite a fast-moving company. They already had 28 or so employees. They gave him a quarter of the company's equity. That's huge. But what they saw in that person was someone who could take them from a good company to a great company, not because they didn't have the best idea, but because they needed someone who could lead them strategically, managerially through those challenges. And then third one, what do you really want when you're considering this? I wrote down 4 things. Do you want wealth? Do you want lifestyle? Do you want notoriety? Or do you want to change the world? Those things are very, very different. The decisions you make will be very, very different. For me, for Nutmeg, 1, change the world, 2, get very wealthy. But I have to know that, because I have to understand what's driving me. Sometimes you're going to need capital, other times you're not. And don't always just chase the money. Splitting the founder's pie, I think this is an important one. Okay, how are you going to divide it with your co-founders? I think idea counts for 1%, maybe 2, if it's a really good idea. You take on someone, you are working, they give up their job, they give up a big salary and move to a startup salary. Think about the opportunity cost. You deserve more, in my opinion, if you give up more. Number 3, the contacts. It is essential that you meet the right people at the right suppliers. It is essential that you meet the right investors at the right time. It is essential that you meet the right clients. That is worth a decent chunk of equity. Number 4, the skills they bring. It's not easy to find people who are great product marketers. It's not easy to find people who are wonderful at raising money. But all of these skills are in high demand if you want the best people. Right? So complement your skills and be prepared to form a partnership. Number 5, the commitment. Who is going to do what? Who's going to work full-time? Who's going to work part-time? Not just what they give up, it's what they're going to put in. Who's on a 6 months, get it started and then run away? Who's on a this is my life? So you started, you've got a partner, maybe 2, you're on your way, you got funded. Now what do? You've got to set some goals. And they've got to be realistic goals, and they've got to be goals that get you to your next funding round. Set your goals to make sure the next time you go and raise money, you are going to have the best chance of getting the highest valuation from the best investors that you want. Those goals should include a great advisory team on board, making sure that you form the best team on the ground, understanding the contracts you have with key suppliers. But be careful with your friends. It doesn't mean you can abuse them. It doesn't mean that you can talk about it all the time when you're at drinks parties. Be a listener as well. Allow other people to tell you about their dreams, and you might get some good ideas out of them. And you will get benefit if you treat them like they were the best customer ever, and you'll get extra benefit if they feel like the best customer ever, not just a forced sale.